Okay, let's take a look at our last example of a parabola. So this one is an x squared. It's already in standard form. I can tell it opens up and down because it's an x squared. So the vertex is going to be at -4 because that is a +4 with the x, and -2 because of the +2 with the y. So -4, -2 would be right about where that black point's going, and I'm going to label that with a V for vertex. I know the axis of symmetry is going to go straight up and down through there because this is an up and down parabola, so I'm going to label that axis of symmetry, and that would be at x equals -4, and everything else is going to be centered around that p-value. So -12 is in place of p, so 4p is -12, sorry, it's in place of 4p. So if I divide by 4, my p is -3. Because p is negative, that tells me that this is going to open down. So it's going to look something like that. Okay, that's what my parabola is going to look like. So if I count up 3 from the vertex, the blue point up there, up 3. If I count down 3, because it opens down, the lower point is going to be our focus, so that's what the F is for. And the higher point is going to be the directrix. Label that directrix. So now I'm going to fill in my chart. The focus would be at -4, -5. That's the point labeled F. The directrix would be at y equals 1 because it's a horizontal line through 1. The latus rectum has a length of 12. I'm getting that because it's a -12 in the 4p position. We just take the positive version. So from the focus, I'm going to count over 6 to the right and 6 to the left, which I believe puts us on the very edge, and connect that with the vertex to get my 2 extra points. The eccentricity is 1 because it is a parabola, and that's it. That would be your parabola. So I'm going to pause, erase this, and then we're going to look at the other two. Okay, let's look at 4. It wants us to put the equation in standard form. So standard form is dependent on whether it's an x equals or a y equals. So this one is a y equals number 4. So I'm going to gather all the y's on the left side. So it'll be y squared plus 4y. And I'm going to put everything else on the right side. So that would make that a -8x plus 20. So I'm trying to mimic the y minus k squared 4p x minus h, because that's standard form for a right-left parabola. So in order to do that, on this left side, I need to complete the square so I can get that perfect square trinomial. If you remember from circles, we complete the square by taking half of the middle, so half of 4 is 2, squaring it means we're adding 4. And if I do that to the left, I've got to do it to the right. So that's going to turn that trinomial on the left into y plus 2 squared. It's going to turn the right into -8x, plus 24. So the left side looks fine. This y plus 2 squared is exactly how it's supposed to look in standard form. But the right side, I need something outside of a set of parentheses. So I'm going to GCF out a -8, which would leave me with x minus 3 on the inside. So now I've got that standard form look, and it wants me to tell which way it opens. Well, I know this is going to be either right or left, and it really depends on the p. So 4p has a -8 in its place. So if I divide by 4, p is -2. So that tells me that this opens left because p is negative. So p is -2, opens left. Let's take a look at number 5. So this time we have an x squared, so that means we're going to have an up or down. So I'm going to gather all the x's on the left, and I'm going to send everything else to the right. So 4y minus 10. So to get that look of x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. I need to complete the square on the left-hand side. So I take half of 6 is 3, and I square it, so that's 9. So I should be adding 9 to both sides. So on the left side, that's going to give me x minus 3 squared is my perfect square trinomial. And on the right side, I'm going to have 4y minus 1. So left side's good. That's my perfect square trinomial. Right side needs some help. I need something outside parentheses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to GCF out of 4. If I GCF out of 4, I have 4 parentheses, y minus, if you take 1, divide by 4, 1 GCF out of 4, you get 1/4. It's okay to have a fraction. That's the way it's supposed to look, because we need a y minus k. And that's it. Now for this one, it's going to open either up or down, and that's based on the p-value. So we've got in the 4p place, in the 4p position, we've got a 4. So if I divide by 4, p is 1. Okay? So what that tells me is if this is up or down and p is positive 1, that this opens up because p is positive. And that's it.